So during my NDD, my lecturer fixed a lecture for Saturday, and she said that lecture was going to give us, that attending that lecture was going to give anyone who attends 20 marks in exchange for writing a test. So when I heard that it was the same Saturday my sister's wedding was fixed and I had planned to go, I met her one-on-one and told her that I won't be around for this lecture and that I just have to be in my sister's wedding on that Saturday. But she didn't accept that I was not permitted to go. I pleaded with her, like I tried all I could and I pleaded with her, but she didn't agree to my plea. And then I traveled because I felt it's my sister's wedding. I should be there. I should be in my sister's wedding. So, and it's a Saturday, not during the week. I should be there. And by God's grace, I traveled and then I came back. Immediately I got back to school, I met her. I told her that I didn't go to any other place. I went for my sister's wedding. I even showed her the souvenirs from the wedding. But she kept on saying that I had missed the 20 marks that other people who came for the lecture had received. Imagine taking 20 marks out of 100 marks. And it was a major course, a departmental course, I think a 4-unit course at that time. I was really scared. I became really scared that a whole 20 marks, what is my assurance of getting even 40 or 50 out of the remaining 80 marks? And then I kept on begging her, and I was begging her. I did all I could to beg her. Then at the point, she agreed to give us 5 marks out of the 20 marks. That is for every one of us who missed the lecture. And then I thought of it. I said 5 marks, just 5 marks out of 15 marks. Oh my God. And it broke me because it broke me. I was like, this is just too hard. Why is she so hard on us? Why is she hard on me? I told her the truth. I only traveled for my sister's wedding and it was a Saturday, not like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was a Saturday weekend, not during the week. So when she concluded that the only thing she could do was just to give us 5 marks, I had to start working. And it was very close to our exam time then. So I started to work, not just to read. I called on my God. I prayed to God because my only place of refuge and rescue was just God at that time. I didn't want to fail that course. So I started praying to God and then I started reading my book, like extraordinarily reading that course. I took my time to read page to page. I was reading everything, taking details of everything in that course in a notebook. At the point, some days to the exam, to that particular exam, I was in the class and I was reading. At a point, I started crying because I felt, oh God, this one is just so hard on me. This is really hard on me. And then the exam day, a day to the exam too, I fell sick. And because out of fear, I fell sick. I wasn't feeling fine, but still the following morning, by God's grace, I was able to go for the exam. You know, because I had my fear for that particular exam, I didn't go there smiling with any of my classmates. Because I was scared. It was as if my life was in it. So I just went in straight. I sat down somewhere until we were called into the exam hall, and I sat right in front of everyone. My seat was at the front, so I sat down there. Immediately I received my question paper, I just bowed my head and prayed. And I focused on this question paper and my answer script. I was really focused on it. And then I started writing. I was writing, by the special grace of God. I was writing. I was careful. At least I was careful to an extent. And then by God's grace, I finished, and then I submitted my answer script. So when I got to my hostel, my very close friend came to me, and then she called my attention to something and said, Chris, I hope you finished your number 1 question. That is a 3-in-1 question. I said 3-in-1 question. You mean the number 1 question on this exam, on this question paper is a 3-in-1 question? I said, God, I finally failed this exam. Imagine answering just 1 question out of 3 questions. I didn't take note of the other questions, so I only answered just 1 question out of the 3, and then I answered other questions from the other ones. Immediately I realized that mistake. When I got to my fellowship that evening, I prayed to God. I told my fellowship president, and he prayed for me. And then I took my mind off the exam. So when we resumed for second semester, this lecturer called the class rep and gave us some names and told her to bring these people to our office. And when she came to the class, the list contained the names of people who passed the exam. Yes, and we were about at least over 120 students in the class. And then she came with just like, let's just say 7 to 10 of people that passed the exam. She mentioned names, and then she finally said, and finally, the only person who had an A in this course is my amazing friend, Grace Oluwatosin Awolumate. I screamed because I knew it was a miracle. That could only be a miracle from God. You mean? I was okay. You see, I can't even express the joy I had because I was surprised. I was like the only person, not just that I passed the course by God's grace, but I was the only person who had an A in the course. So we got to our office, and then she saw me. You know, already my face was very familiar because I was always coming to her to beg her to please reconsider what she said before. And then when she saw me, she said, "Are you Grace?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "God is good." And I said, "Yes, God is good. I know God is good. This can only be God." Because I had begged, I did everything possible to make this woman just do something about what she said before, but it didn't work. But God was working. You know, most times we have our fears, we are overwhelmed by, mostly when we have done everything possible to see things working out, but they are still not working out. But you know, our God, that's why God is God. He's not a man. Man is limited. Our God is not limited. Our God is unlimited. His ways are not our own way, and our thoughts are not. With men it is impossible, with God all things are possible. Sincerely speaking, this happened about 12 years ago, and sincerely I'm not going to ever forget that incident that happened to me. I'm not going to ever forget it. Okay, so I'll be sharing the second part of this testimony with you in my next video. So stay tuned. God bless you. I remain your friend, Grace. Thank you.